Christine Brennan just exposed the WNBA in a major way.
Christine Brennan is one of the best sports writers in the country, has been for a long time.
Caitlin Clark is way more important to the WNBA than Tiger Woods was to men's golf, even though he was huge. And to then see this negativity, like why? And what should have been done? I looked seriously at the leadership of the WNBA. And how could you not be prepared for this moment? You've seen it happening in the Big Ten. You've seen it at Iowa. You see these TV ratings.
The WNBA just got exposed in the most humiliating way imaginable. Longtime USA Today journalist Christine Brennan decided she'd had enough of the league's dysfunction and delivered a scathing truth bomb that shook the very foundations of the WNBA. What she revealed wasn't just a light critic hit, was a ruthless takedown filled with receipts, pettiness, and a devastating indictment of how the league has mishandled its most valuable asset, Caitlin Clark. Brennan's revelations torched the league's credibility, leaving everyone from the commissioner's office to bitter veteran players squirming in discomfort. The central question now, is this epic WNBA faceplant the result of raw jealousy toward Clark, or is it simply a masterclass in incompetence? Whatever the reason, Brennan made one thing clear: something's rotten at the core of the WNBA. Christine Brennan, a journalist with decades of experience covering women's sports longer than many current WNBA players have even been alive, decided to take her knowledge to the next level by writing a book. But this wasn't some cheerful surface-level ode to women's basketball. Brennan went full investigative journalist, pulling back the curtain on how catastrophically the league fumbled what she describes as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Caitlin Clark. Her reporting wasn't just bold, it was scorched earth. And the aftershocks from her book are still rumbling across the league. The drama began shortly after Caitlin Clark declared for the 2024 WNBA draft. Brennan, in her usual journalistic rigor, reached out to a senior league official expecting to hear excitement, perhaps even celebration. Instead, she got an apathetic response, with the official calling Clark's arrival the biggest thing since Maya Moore. While Maya Moore is undeniably a legend, Brennan made a critical point. Outside of diehard basketball fans, Maya was never a household name. The reaction from league leadership revealed just how out of touch they were. They didn't recognize that Clark wasn't just a promising player, she was a cultural earthquake. Brennan, drawing from her decades of covering events like Wimbledon, the Super Bowl, and Tiger Woods' meteoric rise, immediately recognized the shift happening in real time. During Clark's college games, Brennan started getting texts from men who had never watched women's basketball before, dads, coaches, and average sports fans asking, "Are you watching this?" The buzz wasn't limited to Iowa. Across the country, fans lined up for hours in freezing weather just to get a glimpse of Clark in action. And yet, as Brennan reveals, the WNBA front office was completely unprepared. While she and others waved metaphorical neon signs that Caitlin Clark was a generational game-changer, the league's executives sat idly by, too bogged down in outdated mindsets to see the revolution happening before their eyes. Instead of welcoming this massive wave of attention, the WNBA responded with resistance. Rather than embracing Clark and capitalizing on the unprecedented attention she brought, they treated her as an unwelcome disruption. Brennan lays it out clearly. The league was so used to being an afterthought that they simply couldn't fathom relevance. It was like owning a bakery and being shocked when customers actually wanted to buy bread. Their failure wasn't just embarrassing, it was mind-boggling. In one of the most explosive sections of her book, Brennan details the league's inability to deal with the fact that Caitlin Clark, a white woman from Iowa, was suddenly eclipsing long-tenured players in popularity, endorsements, and media attention in a league that is 74% black. Brennan didn't shy away from this. She confronted the racial tension head-on, stating outright that while the spotlight on Clark could and should elevate the entire league, what she saw instead was jealousy, resentment, and backlash. She spoke about how league officials, coaches, and players tried to suppress the growing Caitlin Clark mania rather than harness it. The league should have rolled out red carpets, booked national ad campaigns, and built storylines around their biggest draw. But instead, they acted like cranky neighbors upset that their quiet street had become the center of attention. Brennan likened their response to someone being handed a winning lottery ticket, only to complain that it wasn't in their favorite color. Even more damning, Brennan's reporting reveals that Caitlin Clark was often met not with celebration, but with hostility, from rough fouls on the court to cold shoulders off it. While Clark became the focal point of America's fascination with women's basketball, many within the league seemed bothered by it. Brennan highlighted how referees started swallowing whistles when Clark was hit. Media commentators launched think pieces criticizing her popularity, and players offered passive-aggressive soundbites that barely disguised their irritation. What could have been a golden era for the WNBA turned into a theater of pettiness and mist. opportunity, and this isn't conjecture, it's all backed by Brennan's exhaustive reporting. Her book, appropriately titled Unauthorized, cuts through every layer of spin and gets to the raw, uncomfortable truths. Caitlin Clark's rise should have been the league's proudest moment, a beacon for the future of women's basketball. But instead of lifting her up and celebrating her transformative impact, the WNBA chose to alienate her. The numbers prove what the league refused to see. In 2023, Indiana Fever games averaged around 4,000 fans. After Clark's arrival just for a preseason game, fans were lining up 2 hours early, creating scenes reminiscent of a Taylor Swift concert. Yet the WNBA suits were either blind to the movement or too bitter to embrace it. Brennan also addresses the media chaos surrounding Clark. In her interviews, she notes how, unlike Tiger Woods or Michael Jordan, whose respective leagues and peers embraced their meteoric rise, Caitlin Clark has been met with friction. Why? Brennan says it's part race, part ego, and part ignorance. Many players, even league officials, simply couldn't stomach the idea that this young white woman from Iowa was about to take the WNBA mainstream. Instead of working with the tidal wave of attention, many players tried to push against it. Brennan recounts how some even went so far as to suggest that reporters shouldn't ask questions about Clark's polarizing status. But Brennan refused to back down. She asked the hard questions. Why is Clark polarizing? Why is the league acting like success is a problem? And perhaps the most shocking takeaway from the book is this: Christine Brennan wasn't surprised by any of it. She saw the jealousy coming. She saw the cluelessness in the front office, and she predicted the public's fascination with Clark would outshine anything the league had ever seen before. Her reporting revealed a league that was not just unprepared for stardom, but seemingly resentful of it. In the end, Brennan's book isn't just a chronicle of Caitlin Clark's rise, it's a blistering critique of a league that fumbled the easiest marketing win in women's sports history. Instead of riding the wave, the WNBA fought it, and in doing so, they exposed themselves as a league not ready for prime time. Brennan didn't hold back. She exposed the WNBA's deepest insecurities, its most glaring failures, and its embarrassing refusal to celebrate the very star who could have taken them to the next level.